Hey, good morning. Pastor Steve here again. Hebrews 11, in verse 38, says, of those people we talked about last time, of whom the world was not worthy, they wandered in deserts and mountains and dens and caves of the earth. We're the real heroes of faith. We seem to place the ones with the biggest conversions, the most attendance, the greatest outreaches, and they're all good things, by the way. We put them on the top of the leaderboard. But when we say God's honor roll, the real valued ones, the ones who are worth more than the whole world, are these who endured and went without homes and suffered for their faith, of whom the world was not worthy. Look up Helen Roseveare. She died in 2016. She dedicated her life to Christ and served as a missionary. Really need to read the story, but I'm going to share a small bit here. She was a medical missionary in the Congo, which later became Zaire. The Congo became independent from Belgium in 1960 when civil war broke out in 1964. All of the medical facilities they had established were destroyed. Helen was among 10 of the Protestant missionaries put under house arrest by the rebel forces for several weeks, after which time they were moved and imprisoned. She describes the horror of what happened after she tried to escape. They found me, dragged me to my feet, struck me over head and shoulders, flung me on the ground, kicked me, dragged me to my feet, only to straighten me again. The sickening, searing pain of a broken tooth, a mouthful of sticky blood, my glasses gone, beyond sense, numb with horror, an unknown fear, driven, dragged, pushed back to my own house, yelled at, insulted, and cursed. Her captives, she wrote, were brutal and drunken. They cursed and swore, they struck and kicked, they used the butt end of their rifles and rubber truncheons, they were roughly taken, thrown in prisons, humiliated, and threatened. On October 29, 1964, Helen Roseveare was brutally raped. She later recounted, on that dreadful night, beaten and bruised and terrified and tormented and unutterably alone, I had felt at last that God had failed me. Surely he could have stepped in earlier. Surely things need not have gotten that far. I had reached what seemed to be an ultimate depth of despairing nothingness. In this darkness, however, she sensed the Lord saying to her, "You asked me when you were first converted for the privilege of being a missionary. This is it. Don't you want it? These are not your sufferings, they're mine. All I ask of you is the loan of your body." She eventually received an overwhelming sense of privilege that Almighty God would stoop to ask of a mere nobody in a forest clearing in the jungles something he needed, of whom the world is not worthy. You ponder that, Pastor Steve.